I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the Letcher County Water and Sewer District regular meeting, Thursday, July 17th, 2025. On the agenda next is the approval of the June 19th, 2025 meeting minutes. You have a copy of those.
I'll make the motion we approve the minutes.
Thank you, Sam. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Fred, thank you. Sam, thank you.
They're sitting in the wrong
They're
place.
sitting in the wrong
We're in the wrong
place.
place.
Doesn't take much for me. Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the engineer's report for Bell Engineering.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I assume that, I guess the board at this point has all heard that Steve Cobble has resigned from Bell Engineering.
Just now.
Oh, just now?
Just now, I did.
I let Mark know a few weeks back that July 3rd was Steve's last day. It was a kind of a shock to all of us as well. He gave us a 30-day notice, so during that 30 days, we've been preparing different teams in our office to take over all of Steve's projects with multiple clients. We hope to make the transition as seamless as possible. Logan Stevens is with me here tonight. He's an engineer, graduate from UK. James Roberts is also going to be assisting in our office, along with Kelly, our president. So we're currently working through, like I said, all of Steve's clients' projects. And we want to make that as seamless as we can. And if you have any questions, anytime, feel free to call me, Logan, or anybody in the office. So.
How long will it take Logan to come up to speed with all the work? The Bell does a lot of work for our county.
Absolutely.
How long would that be?
We're going to do it as quickly as we can. Can't give you an exact time frame on that, but we're going to try to make that as quick as possible. We're just going to try to keep everything hopefully moving just like it has been, only hopefully faster.
Okay, and he will be mentored, I'm assuming?
Yes, absolutely. By James and Kelly in our office.
Okay.
So, like I said, I can tell it's kind of a shock to you, Diane, and it was to me too. Unfortunately, Steve has been pretty overwhelmed with his workload over the last several years, and he's just going to step away from engineering for a while. He's not going to another job at this time, and I hope that Steve works through his issues, and we wish him the best with him and his family. So that's where we are at this point.
And we do as well.
Appreciate it. I'm sure Steve does too. So in saying that, like I said, I was just talking with Kim with our cat. We'll set up a call with her next week. Try to get up to speed on everything that we know that is outstanding and try to push all this forward. So moving on to our current projects. The Carbon Glow Road job is now complete. MGM construction is finished up. Substantial completion was met on June 24th. We gave him a substantial completion certificate today. They'll set his warranty period from June 24th of this year through June 23rd of next year, his warranty. We did his final pay estimate, executed that today as well. Moving on to the Federal Bureau of Prison Water Line, that's the project at Roxana. The project's moving along pretty well now. The project started back on July 1st. As of July 11th, they've laid 11,157 linear feet of 8-inch duct iron, 2,650 linear feet of 10-inch polyethylene, and 4,472 feet of 4-inch ductile. The 2 pay requests that were held up at AML have now been processed, and he has now received payment. He actually had to stop work. They stopped work for 1 week due to delay in payment. And he got up to where he was owed almost $2 million. So that was a lot for him to carry. And I know he had to tap into his line of credit, and he had to take some people off that project. And it's unfortunate because he was moving forward at a really fast pace. Currently, 44.6% of the contract time has elapsed, and 63.4% of the work has been completed. So he's still about 20% ahead of schedule. So they're moved along really well. We've got some outstanding change orders that we still need to do. There's several deep culverts that we've encountered out there now that brush and all the greenery's cleared away, that we're going to have to direction drill in a few areas. I met with Phil Bowling on site yesterday. We looked at some of those. So we've got a draft change order together, and I'm still waiting on some pricing back from BP Pipeline to finalize that change order, get that processed. There's an inline PRV that needs to be added also to the project. Where we're tying on, I think our pressure is 219 pounds that are marked at premium. So we need to knock that down about 50 PSI. So we're getting a price. I've already sent the detail and specifications to the contractor on that PRV station. So we're just waiting on a price quote back from him on that. And also there was a cash allowance for the CSX inspections that was in the specifications but was not included in the bid form, so it wasn't in the contractor's price. That'll be part of that change order as well, just to move that 40 into the contract amount. And I'll discuss that with AML as well. And the contractor has informed us that he is going to need a little additional time. Probably know he is ahead of schedule. I told him we would address that time, but he's concerned about his time now on meeting his completion date. When we cross that change order, he'll have a little bit additional time he'll ask for to do those additional drills that we're asking him to do. And he had to reduce his workforce considerable. He's got 6 men out there now. He did have 3 crews running. But due to his pay estimates being withheld, he had to pull them off, and he just had to move them to another job that he had to pay money for, and that's understandable. It's out of everybody's control. So hopefully that's all moving forward now. The district gave him his check, I believe, in the last week. I think he came and picked it up. So his bank has to hold his money 10 days since it's such a large check, and he should be moving forward pretty quick now, so hopefully won't be any issues going forward. We processed pay request 3 last month and pay request 4 today, so hopefully those will get processed timely. Moving on, Kentucky 7 relocation at Red Star Bridge. All the 4 and 8 inch lines have been in. The only work remaining to be done is the directional drill. MGM Construction's doing that work. He actually punched through his drill, so he's made the drill. He's just got to back ream it and pull his pipe in and do the tie-in. So he's going to back ream it starting Monday. By the following week, he should have that tied in, and we'll have that project totally completed too. Within 2 weeks, he should be totally done. On Millstone Phase 2, of course, all the lines have been laid out there. We have another new engineer too in our office that came to us from Arizona. His wife's a professor at UK. She accepted the job there, and he is extremely good at hydraulics. So I know Steve had mentioned several times in the update that we've rerun hydraulics on most of these projects. Tom Whipple has done that for us. He is excellent at hydraulic analysis. So he has rerun hydraulics on most all these projects that we've discussed. So on Millstone, everything's laid out, and we determined that a tank and a pump station would be needed. So we'll now be supplying that water from Jenkins, and that'll get finalized. I sent the proposed customer count and projected usage to Mark.
Attorney has all of it.
Last week to get that agreement started. I submitted the plans to Kentucky Transportation Cabinet on July 2nd. So that's in the works to get the encroachment permit approval. James Roberts has taken that project. He started last week doing a thorough QA of the plans and the specifications. He did have some edits and some comments. We've got those plans back in the drafting currently. We expect to submit that to Division of Water next week. So James is going to stamp that, and James is our Executive Vice President. He's been at Bell for 43 years, I believe. So he's gave that a thorough review, and like I said, we'll have that to Division of Water by next week. We'll have that knocked out. Moving on to Red Star Turkey Creek, we had Richard Crawford. He's another construction manager at Bell that has a lot of construction background. He drove that project last week, did a constructability review on it. He said it looked really good. We'll have that to KYTC next week to get the encroachment permits on it, and we should have that to Division of Water probably in the next 2 weeks. So we're trying to push these out. They've been held up for some time. The Loggy Hollow zone meter replacement project, we've laid that out. We've surveyed the bore on 15. We'll get that to the KYTC to get approval on that bore as well. Should have that done also in the next couple of weeks, getting that submitted. And we also have the Pratt Fork pump station rehab to take care of as well. We're starting design on that. Cumberland River Phase 1, those plans have been revised. Those hydraulics have been rerun also by Tom. This can now be submitted to Division of Water. We have prepared and getting ready to do the final drive-through, get the pictures prepared for KYTC, and get that submitted to the Highway Department also. After permit approval is obtained, the project also will be ready to bid pending funding availability. Cumberland River Phase 4, I know there's a push on that. Just talking with CRAD, we're going to try to move that project as quickly as we can. I've also talked with Kim regarding the funding on that here today. And like I said, we're going to set up a call with Kim next week and get the background on funding and where it's at this point. We're going to try to push that. We'll get up there as quick as we can and get that driven and do a constructability review and get those plans finalized as well. Millstone Center Sewer, of course, we had an agreed order on that project. We worked with that. Everything on that now has been submitted to the health department, so it's in their hands. I know Stephanie's got the forms back from them to get that finalized. The prison water treatment plant is just an ongoing thing that's been on here. The plans and everything on that was completed back in 2018 and 2019. It's the same thing, it's been on our list. And then 11 is construction engineering pay items. We had the Carbon Glow pay request today from MGM Contracting, which will be the final. And then we also had the water line extensions for the Federal Bureau of Prisons Roxana pay estimate today from BP Pipeline. Engineering this month, we invoiced some on the water extensions for the Federal Bureau of Prisons, the Millstone Project Phase 2, the Red Star Phase 3, which is the Red Star Turkey Creek Project, the Loggy Hollow Zone Meter, the Utility Relocation Bridge on Kentucky 7, and then I believe there was an older one that was the flood recovery project, and I think Kara's our CFO at the office. I think she talked to Stephanie about that. I think we had an old invoice that was left for the flood recovery project, and that'll be our final invoice on that. That was just one that had been left outstanding. That was work that was done when the flooding happened. Any questions or any concerns? Like I said again, we're going to try to make the transition with Steve as smooth as possible, and we're doing our best to make some of these projects that have been held up for some time have some movement.
So in the flood recovery final invoice, do we still have funds available from the flood money for
And
that?
Stacey's researching and see, making sure the project can be closed down.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, she's got 2 or 3 she has to look into.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, appreciate it.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the pay request for Bell Engineering construction projects. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Sam.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Fred. The motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Engineers report is next on the agenda from GRW.
Thank you. I'll be brief. I've got Mike Jacobs with me. He's the Vice President of GRW, and he is of Letcher County.
Hello.
Yep. And met everybody, Diane,
Meet you.
Gary, and Fred, and Sam, and Jason.
Appreciate your guys' opportunity to let us get back down here at home and do a little work. Alan's got all the good details here, so I'll let him do the actual update. Thank you.
Nice to have you.
I'll be brief. So the first one is the flood damage meter replacement project that you've got going on with RD. The stuff in green is what we've done since the last board meeting. So we talked about getting plans to RD to review. We did that on the 4th, not Thursday the 4th, that should be Thursday the 3rd. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, pre-submittal meeting was held on the 3rd with RD and in your office in RCAP. We submitted the plans the following week on the 7th. RD has reviewed the plans and specs. The state engineer has made comments. We're addressing those comments. We met with Mark and Jason yesterday, just to go over their minor comments. A lot of it has to do with the federal requirements with the EJCDC, but we should have all that wrapped up and back to RD next week. I think they'll have approval by the end of the week, and with that approval, you get authorization to bid. So, the last board meeting, you all went ahead and made the motion to bid it when we get approval. Once we get approval, we'll get with Mark and Jason and get a date set and get it bid. It's going to be hard to get the bid results prior to your August meeting. Third week in August, third Thursday in August. We'll try, but it's going to be tight. In lieu of that, we may have to have a special call meeting between your August and September meeting just to go over the recommendation for award, get the bid award, get that project moving. The only other item I didn't discuss is there's a right-of-way map, so there's checklist items that go with RD Rural Development Project. One of those is a right-of-way map. It's your entire service area. Kim and I talked about it. We'll get with the RD representatives and come up with a map that's realistic. To do a right-of-way map for your entire service area would be bigger than the project, so we'll try to get something that satisfies everybody. But I don't anticipate it holding anything up. The second project is your treatment plant. Since then, AML is kind of ramped up on this, and we forwarded information to them as requested. We had a monthly progress meeting with AML this morning just to bring them up to speed. We had a design meeting in-house with BL Anderson. They're just a rep that provides a lot of different components to the treatment facility, just kind of bring them up to speed on the project and get that moving forward. We forwarded mapping to CRAD for the CDBG HUD. Lisa and I spoke this morning. There's a chance that you're going to have to do a archaeological on the site, triggered by SHPO.
Yeah. We have a meeting, we're trying to get a meeting set up with SHPO. I know we had one previously when it was on the other side. Now they're saying they want us to have...
We had 2 archaeological studies.
Now they want us to have one on this one. Because they even reference that
Remember, Alan, we used another guy that you knew on the second one that was on the side across the road.
Right.
Yeah, so you should have one, we should have one in place for it already.
So the issue, and correct me if I'm wrong, the issue is y'all have about 4 or 5 funding agencies involved. Every one of them requires an environmental. It's the same NEPA, National Environmental Protection Act environmental, but each one of them does it a little different. HUD has triggered this archaeological. With that being said, though, like Lisa said, we're trying to get a meeting set up with the Heritage Council and explain to them that this is not, you know, it's like we have a map, Mike, of all the existing utilities. There's gas lines all over that place. There's electric lines. I think if we can bring some of that to light, maybe we can avoid this. And if not, we'll deal with it as it comes. But we're trying to get a meeting set up with the Heritage Council, and you all are welcome to be part of that if you want to. Just to explain to them that.
She gave us a couple of dates. It'll be either next Tuesday or next Thursday. So if any of you want to attend, just let me know when you get the link up. We'll send it out to you.
But we have some mapping of the existing utilities out there, and like I said, there's gas lines and the overhead electric. I mean, CSX runs right down the middle of it, so hopefully we can enlighten a little bit on it. And then we're waiting on the attorney doing the title search for the property, and that's where we stand now. Again, until the environmental for CDBG is done, we cannot expend AML funds or any other funds on the project. So it's paramount that we get this CDBG done, and then we get the property free and clear. And that's where that stands. The Mountain Comp Healthcare, I spoke to Benny McCall today. Didn't realize this, but he knows we're working with Mountain Comp Healthcare. So, yeah. So, with that being said, though, Lisa and I talked. ARC has not requested a full application for the project. Okay, and that should have already happened if they were going to fund it this cycle, I would think, because we're getting ready to go right back into the next ARC funding cycle. With that being said, and this isn't on you all, this is on MCHC, is we probably need to look for a different funding. I know Kentucky Waters, that may not apply, but there's EDA. You and I talked about EDA, which is the Economic Development Authority. There are jobs tied to this project, so I think it would be a candidate. And of course, we'll reapply for ARC if it doesn't happen over the next 2 months. But that's nothing on you all, but we will work with Mountain Comp Healthcare to come up with some other kind of funding scenario to get the water line. Because the water line is to serve them, but it also benefits you all because you're going to connect 2 dead end lines over on Premium and the one down on at the end on 7 there. But, and then the other project we've got is the CDBG DR project, and you said you're working on the environmental on that. So that's the status on those. Again, the replacement project, meter replacement project is the one that's going to happen pretty quick. We'll get all that to RD next week and take it from there. So I got any questions that I can answer? We don't have any invoices. RD's asked us to hold everything until the project goes to the assessment. That's all I got. Thank you.
Next on the agenda is payment of the monthly bills of the district. That list is attached.
I'll make that motion to pay the bill.
Thank you, Sam. A second?
I'll say.
Thank you. The motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Next is the board member comments and discussion. Are there public comments from the floor?
I do have a few things to present. First thing is a resolution for the Cumberland River Phase 4 Regional Interconnect. We passed one of these, I think, last month for another project. Basically, it says if the project goes over what the funds that you receive, that the district will cover it. Rarely ever happens. I've never seen it happen. But I just need a motion and a second to accept that the district would be responsible for any cost overruns on that project.
Are there any
I'll
questions?
make that motion.
Thanks, Fred. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. The motion's been made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Opposed? The motion carries.
And I'll have you sign all this again. The next thing is the first reading of a budget ordinance for the regional interconnect and distribution lines for Cumberland River Phase 4 in connection with the ARC for $500,000 that you guys are receiving. Basically, this just states that y'all have a budget in place. This money comes down, you will adjust your budget to include this funding. We have to do one this month, we have to read it again next month, we have to publish it in the paper and all that to make the public aware. But I need a motion and a second on it.
Okay. How about a motion on that one?
I'll make it.
Thank you. And a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Opposed? The motion carries.
The next thing is the second reading of the budget ordinance for the Loggy Hollow water line extension project. We did the first one last month. Basically, it's like the other one, stating when the funds come down, you will amend the budget to include this funding.
Do I hear that motion?
I'll make it.
Thank you, Sam.
I'll second.
Thanks, Fred. The motion's been made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Opposed? The motion carries.
And then the last thing I have that needs voted on is an amended contract, and it's for the Cumberland River Phase 4. We've passed the contract before for CRAD, but the dates have run out, so we have to do an amended contract. And it's just for administrative fees, and it's in the amount of, $40,000. And that just allows CRAD to administer the project.
Okay, we now have another motion. Who would like to make that motion?
It's yours. It's your money. Your project.
My money. I don't have it.
Do we hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Fred. Second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Sam. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? The motion carries.
And everything else, I just need your signature on it. Can wait until after.
Okay, thank you.
And I have something as well.
Okay, great. Good to see you, Kim.
Thank you, thank you. So the meter replacement project that Alan was talking about that's funded through USDA Water Environmental Programs Disaster, it requires that you had an updated operation and management plan. Chris Wells has been working on this with Shauna and Stephanie, and we have some of the new roles defined. We just want to make sure that you say yes, pass a motion, yes, we have one of these, and we approve it, so that Diane can sign it tonight, and Fred can attest her signature, so that we can get that checklist item submitted tomorrow. And it's very general, just talks about, yes, this is our system, we have a general manager in place, we have clerks in place, we have secretary in place. They do audits. When you read your meters, that's all it is. It's an operation and management plan. Yes. And you've had one of these before because you've had RD loans, but we felt like it was time to update it since we have new people in these roles.
Okay, thank you. we need a motion for Kim to be able to assure that we have an updated operations and management plan.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Fred.
I'll second.
Thank you. The motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
So if you will sign that and then let Fred attest your signature tonight, I'll leave with it.
That would be great, yes. Any other public comments? Any other board business? I would hear a motion for adjournment.
I'd like to hear that. Get out of here.
Thank you, Richard. Would somebody like to second that?
I will.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you all.